Welcome to the evening show. I'm your host, Tony.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony G, and we are about to get started today. We're going to be talking about Nicki Minaj, as I promised yesterday. We're going to be talking about that. So before we go into it here, let me, gotta get my ground news. You know how I do, I gotta see what's going on in the news today, so. Yeah, I thank you guys for coming up yesterday. I should say early in this morning, boy. It was early. When did I do that? About 2:30, 1:30, 2:30. But at any event, yeah. So, I appreciate you guys, man, coming in and everything and checking out what I have to say, boy. Yeah, this is about this Erica Kirk and Nicki Minaj. Many of you guys already know what happened in the so-called black community. I call it so-called, but, so it's just one of those type of things that has happened, unfortunately, It just shows you how cultish the so-called black community is. When we talk about Nicki Minaj and any other people, when you don't agree with how clannish and how, more like, not clannish, more of a cult. Because you have to go with the narrative, you have to go with what, if the majority of black people are saying thumbs down to Trump, then you are a bad person, It's like no type of originality whatsoever. Originality is never really accepted in the so-called black community. Well, they look at you weird, right? In this case, they just flat out call you a racist, a hater, sell out to your own community. Listen, everybody has a choice to be able to do whatever they want to do. You got cancel culture coming after her, more so because we understand what the dynamics is, right? Nicki Minaj made her money originally off of the so-called black community, right? They feeling betrayed, this and that, because of her political alignment that she's aligning with, I'm just gonna go straight into the video instead of the news right now because this right here, it just infuriates me in regards to the stupidity that some of the so-called black community, I call it so-called because we don't have much of a community anymore. In fact, we don't have a community at all. What we have is blacks that's on the internet, right? Cancel culture is all social media based. It's not the community. It's all on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I just want Nicki to stick to her guns and stuff because I wear my cap. I do the things because it ain't because of I do this because I'm trying to approval seek someone else. Obviously not, right? Well, you got the 92% of black women that's co-signing this nonsense, and black men follow, I even watched a little bit of Willie D talking about, Nicki Minaj. Basically, he just outright called her a sellout. You have so-called Dr. Umar Johnson. This is another one, which is actually, he's a grifter, He done jumped on the bandwagon, as he always do. Get that school together. In fact, don't even worry about the school. I think he's being investigated, man. I got a problem. These are the same types of people that want to tell a man where to put his penis when it comes down to women and things like that. I find that to be, you know what I'm saying? Because no real man does that. We don't give a damn what a man does. That's his own personal I don't get in the man's bedroom and tell him where he's got to put his thing at, but I'm drawing up a point, right? This is how ridiculous it is. I find that to be, you better not be with no snow bunnies. I've dated white women. They call them snow bunnies. It's derogatory, man. It really is. They wouldn't like it if they would be called chocolate bunnies and all the rest of this stuff. Yeah, I saw you with that chocolate bunny, But they don't like it when the shoe is on the other foot. You see what I'm saying? So I'm giving great pushback. And it takes a lot of courage for Nicki Minaj to do what she's doing, because she understands, just like I understand, in regard to what is really going on. These people are in a cult. You ain't black unless you vote for me. This is Joe Biden type of narrative that people, it's a monolith, and we're sick and tired of it. We're tired of it. You got the black fatigue going on, and they coming after Nicki Minaj over some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And really what it is that because of the Trump derangement syndrome is so deep, and they think they have control. Fuck the cancel culture. To me, there's no such thing as a cancel culture. They ain't canceling shit. They don't have no damn power. Think about it. What power do they have other than getting on social media? It's like a group of them. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody been worried about no group of women because they supposed to hold some type of influence. I don't do this for black women. I do this for Americans, not for no group of people. And I know her music crossed over. Nicki, you're going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? You're a crossover artist. And let's face it, you have more whites and others that go to your concerts more so than blacks. Blacks will go to the concert. Now they're saying, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and cancel culture and everything. This is nonsense. I'm going to share this video in a minute. This is her at Turning Point, when she showed up at Turning Point. So we're going to get into it, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys coming in on the channel, I really do. Virgil, Nigel says they stupid. Yeah, I know, Virgil, Nigel, they really are. They're some just idiots, man. They always have been. Unfortunately, I have to deal with this stupidity. Unfortunately, Let me see if we're going to put that right here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, unfortunately, I got to deal with this stupidity. I don't have to deal with it, but it just gets very, very annoying, you know what I'm saying, when you have to think about it. They're going after a woman, right, that shares her political viewpoints. They want to try to put us all and lump us all together. We're going to have to take her black card. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she's not black. I'm going to take her black pass. This is just nonsense. What are they talking about? We know that the majority of blacks do not have power in this country. They just live in here, for the most part of it. And this is basically what it is. We don't have a community anymore. The community is not social media, right? Cancel culture stuff. Then we try to come in here and try to come after me. You ain't canceling shit. I've been doing this over a year. If you had power for real, to be able to shout down, thumb down, whatever, they ain't got no power. It's just all make believe. They ain't got nothing better to do other than trying to control people. What is she worth? About $30 million or something like that? Well, $100 million. I think somewhere around there, about $100 million, maybe $150 million off the top of my head, somewhere around there. And I'm not going to go in her background and all the rest of it. I'm not going to bring up all that because that's not even important. What's important is what the so-called black community turned their back on Nicki Minaj, especially the black women. Especially the black women. Once again, I'm talking about the dysfunctional black women. They did the same thing with Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash is a non-registered Republican. Stacey Dash, I think she's close to 60? If she is, and she looks great. Have a nice diet and everything, though. Y'all know Stacey Dash, Clueless. She played in a lot of movies, But the most popular one is, I can remember, Clueless and a few other these type of movies and stuff that she played in. But, related cousin to Damon Dash, you know what I mean? Stacey Dash. The cancel culture went after her. We can have a whole list of what this so-called cancel culture have done. It's a group of the sisterhood that's on social media that control black men. They've been doing that in black athletes all the time, you know. And the ones, they did it to the one for Alfonso Rivera. Y'all remember him? Right? Nobody haven't heard from Alfonso Rivera in a long time. He got a job, you know what I'm saying? Doing, I forgot what he was in some type of management for some type of company. And he's with a white woman, which was previous, and have a blended family. I don't see nothing wrong with that, you know? But once that's off of Will Smith, Carlton Banks, everybody know him, you know, and everything. I think Alfonso, I didn't see nothing wrong with what Alfonso Rivera did at all. You know what I'm saying, though, Virgil? I didn't see anything wrong at all. He put a post up on Facebook a while back, probably about 3 years ago, you know, just showing off his family and how proud he was to be with her, and she was an attractive looking white woman, you know? The sisterhood attacked him and things like that. And then he had to go and explain himself, which I would have never did. I don't explain myself to nobody, especially no woman. He shouldn't have to. But he went on there anyway, basically said, and make a long story short, he just sat up here and really just said, listen, when I was trying to date black women, you guys wouldn't date me, right? And it's true. They wouldn't date him. They look at him as that character off of Carlton Banks, off of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They know damn well they wouldn't date that guy like that. They'll date him and take his money, but they're not going to date him. The majority of the black women would not date Alfonso Rivera. It's going to keep it real. Even he said it, right? Even he said it. So this is the dysfunction in the so-called black community. And with these so-called pro-blacks and all the rest of them, you guys got a lot of work to do to be fixing the inner city. I'm divested from that. I don't have a dog in that fight, you know what I'm saying? I gave up on that a long time ago. You build with people that are willing to build with you, and that's exactly what he did. Even if you have to come away from the so-called dysfunction black community. You can see crime, violence, and drugs, even though these are left-leaning policies that have upped up our community, but at the same time, they're co-signing. They want to be on that slave plantation. They want to bitch and whine and complain how they don't have anything, and then when somebody have a different narrative, they go and attack them. They have tried that with me. You know? Fuck the cancel culture is what I say. And fuck the so-called sisterhood because it ain't shit. These are just angry, displaced single mamas, right? And drama with it. No man, real man, want to deal with that type of nonsense. So if you get butthurt over what I'm saying, maybe it's the truth. And maybe if more black men would stand up and tell the truth instead of co-signing them and kowtowing and bowing down. Listen, 54% of black men are single, right? In the middle class, between 18 and 30, right there. That tells you a whole lot that we have a very dysfunctional ass community. Now let's go back on Nicki Minaj, right? And I appreciate you guys for coming in on the chat. And I'm coming in on the talk about that. So let's go further down with it. So with Nicki Minaj, everybody knows who she is, famous rapper. Now, we know her songs. I ain't gonna go into it with all that. She has been accused of actually going after several rappers like, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. You know the list of other rappers and stuff like that. So, yeah, I know her and Miley Cyrus, though, had a little bit of a tiff, you know. And Nicki Minaj, you know, she's, you know, she speaks her mind, you know, from the Caribbean, from Trinidad, I do believe. You know, I appreciate it. Thumbs up. Thank you. See, I can see it on this platform. I was using StreamYard, and it don't show me the thumbs up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I can see it here. So, yeah, on Ecamm, you know. But, yeah, so that's the thing about it, man. It's just crazy, though. And I appreciate you guys rocking with your boy, coming in here and things like that. Because I said I was going to do another live stream where we were talking about the dysfunctional so-called black community. And it's long overdue. That's why you're seeing all these black fatigue type stuff going up, you know, and these YNs and all the rest of this stuff. It's all this nonsense. And they're not really the major focal point. It's the cancel culture, which is a group, as I said before, of dysfunctional black women that want to, anybody that voted for Trump, like Trump, I got relatives on the same tip, TDS and everything, because they want to hate this guy, you know what I'm saying? That is the narrative. That is it, So I don't even bother trying to convince them. A lot of them are gone, They don't really understand how worse off. If you didn't vote for Kamala Harris, here's a perfect example, right? If you did not vote for Kamala Harris, right? That automatically made you a sellout. You remember how angry black women were? Because they wanted to see the first black female. She's not a black woman. Then, I have conversations, tried to, what I thought that was so-called my black women friends or whatever like that. One of them, I don't even talk to her no more, you know what I'm saying? They get butthurt. Remember I said before, not all black women, but there is a group of them that are very insecure. That's why they get upset with stuff. Because if you were so secure, if you were the queens and the divas that you claim to be, you wouldn't be getting upset. Why would you be upset over something like this? If you got it going on in your life, why would you be upset or butthurt on how I vote or how Nicki voted? You know what I'm saying? Nicki supports Trump, right? She's backing a winner, right? Nothing wrong with that. She's backing a winner. I'm backing a winner. We on the right side of history. That's okay. I don't get upset if somebody want to vote for the left. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go over here and do all these videos, trying to do cancel culture stuff. Listen, we don't have to do this type of stuff. I don't have to do it at all. I'm comfortable with whatever choices you make politically. That's your business, right? Meet with Trump. Remember Steve Harvey, and I'm not a big Steve Harvey fan, but I'm going to support Steve Harvey on this one. He met with Trump, right? Look at the so-called, these are the same group of insane-ass people, mostly women, 92%, it's them. The black men just follow because they don't want to be ostracized. It takes courage to do what I do, and most of them don't. Willie D is on that bandwagon. You notice, I don't watch him a lot, but he's on the same bandwagon. I'm talking about Willie D of the Ghetto Boys, out of Texas, right? He does the same thing. Pander to the 92% of black women. And the rest of these brothers, they do the same thing. Some of them that's on their influencers, they pander to these so-called queens, and they're not. This is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the brothers smarten up, especially the younger generation, they smarten up. They understood what it really is. They really did. They smarten up. They understood what was really happening, what was going on. And they voted for Trump. They looked at his policies. Things that the 92% refused to do. I'm talking about black women, the ones that stay on the Democratic narrative, right? And they're going after Nicki right now, right? No, that ain't happening. That's cool. She's a millionaire. And she ain't where y'all can't even see Nicki. You still broke in your slums and ghettos or wherever you are, middle classes or whatever the case may be. This woman is a millionaire. She can travel the world, be in places that some of y'all never been. And I support her. Because it took courage for Nicki to be able to do that. She understood how insane the left is. And then you still got these women, what, because you won't snap? And you want these other pro-government programs and stuff like that? I'm glad that this policy has always been in effect. And what did Trump do, right? He went on ahead and put this policy, right, and enforced the policy. Your ass is going to be working 30 hours a week, right? And you're going to be on it for 2 years. And after that, your ass is cut off. You know, maybe that should knock some sense into you and start forcing accountability and responsibility, right? That's what needs to happen. Ain't no more hand holding, you know, since most of the brothers won't stand up and tell the truth. You know, they too busy pandering to them, telling them how they queens and all the rest of this stuff, and they're not. You know, it takes courage or whatever. Everybody can do what Willie D do. There's many of these guys on there. You see what she did? We got to take her black ass from her. Oh, how dare her to say? It's remind me of Django. What is this, Django? I like the movie, by the way, with I do like the movie, though. Y'all saw Django, Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Quentin Tarantino, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Candyland. They may as well be saying modern day Candyland. The Democrat Party is Candyland, right? You got Massa cracking the whip. Keeping it, and you also got these blacks like Samuel Jackson. He played that character, by the way, right? Samuel Jackson played that character, He said, I ain't used to know, what, on no damn mule, He was just looking at him. Samuel Jackson had them eyes and stuff, Boy, I tell you, man, they even went compared him to Clarence Thomas. Y'all ain't shit, boy, doing that type of stuff like that. Man, trying to put Clarence Thomas. This is how bad it is, man, I had another one of my friends posted that meme up there on Facebook. I said, man, and but that's what I'm saying. That's all they have. They just these so-called social keyboard warriors. They don't come out here making no change at all. They're backing losers that don't give a damn about their ass, right? So with Nicki, once again, she's doing her thing, though. And I was going to really get into this thing with Nicki and stuff like that. But I am going to get into it because we studied this getting started. And I appreciate you guys coming in, though, too. Let me see. Where's my thing at here? Is that it? Let me see here. Is that it right there? Okay. Okay, that's it right here. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go into it, though, right? I'm just going to go over some of my bullet points with Nicki, Why is a lot of black fans turned away from Nicki Minaj? Look, Nicki was the queen for years, right? They dubbed her the queen. These were black women, right? She was dubbed as the queen. Pink Friday, the mixtapes, Super Bass, right? She paved the way for female rappers. No cap. She is true. Right? Black women especially, she represented, right? The black girl magic in the industry. She did all that stuff, She did that. When we're over here, and like I said, it's nothing wrong with propping up black women in general, right? But we shouldn't be in a cult mindset or state of mind. We shouldn't be like that, We shouldn't be. So let's go ahead and break it on down, right? So, let me see, where are my notes at here? First off, blah, blah, blah. Nicki Minaj, husband, Kenneth Petty. We already know who he is. I ain't gonna go into that. I'm not gonna go into that because you already know, right? This is not about the past. This is about the present. So as I mentioned before, there's rappers that she gone after like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Remy Ma, Remy Ma, you know what I'm saying? The Megan beef in 2024, and they basically got nasty there, Tory Lanez, I remember the shooting and all that stuff. So there's a lot of controversy there, but Nicki posted about her cousin's friend in Trinidad supposedly gotten swollen testicles from the COVID vaccine. Straight misinformation. It got debunked quick, but it spread hysterically, especially in the black community where vaccine is rated already low because of a historical mistrust. Can we say the Tuskegee experiment, right? That's exactly what it is. Blacks is the king of conspiracy for good reasons, right? So let me see here. What else here, though? All right, let's get here to the turning point. So here it is. The straw that broke the camel's back, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is right here. A ton of black fans is her recent political term, right? In December 2025, a conservative event, which is the turning point. We all know the Turning Point USA, right? Here it is. She was on stage with Erica Kirk, right? Praising Donald Trump, right? Calling him handsome, saying he and J.D. Vance make her proud to be an American. What the hell is wrong with that? What the hell, right? Trump, he has done an excellent job. J.D. Vance is very presidential. If I got to say, he has the charisma, right? He speaks very well. What the hell are they talking about? I never heard what's the name, use the N-word, never been called no damn ninja from none of them. You know, all the stuff that Trump have done for black people, celebrities. That's why with Mike Tyson though, back when his ass, some of y'all ain't even old enough to remember that. We're talking about over 20 years ago, right? When what's the name? Mike Tyson got hemmed up in Indiana for an accused rape. He did 6 years time. Damn near messed his career up. Who had his back? Donald Trump. And there's a list of celebrities and more, right? What about Jennifer Hudson when her family got deleted out there in Chicago? Who put her up for 6 months in one of the Trump towers, one of those places? It was Trump. You know, we can go down the list again. What in the hell are they talking about? This 92% of deranged, dysfunctional, racist, hatred ass. I'm talking about all black women, not all now. I'm talking about the ones that are dysfunctional. And unfortunately, they have a mouthpiece, or they have what they call a mic. Because anybody can get on here and do what I'm doing. You know, or they get on here as the keyboard warriors, and they go on these pages like a group of them. It's just really weird, man. So let's go ahead and go through it here. She talked about the boys being boys. What's wrong with the boys being boys? You know, I'm advocate for the boys being boys. I don't want the boys to be girls and the girls to be boys. What's wrong with that? Case in point, you have Willow and you have Jalen, right? Jalen is walking around here. You know, and that's his thing. I'm not coming after him for saying, I'm just saying, I would not want to have a son that does that. If he got a father and a mother and a home, I didn't grow up like that, you know, and I know it could be a little bit more to that. You know, this ain't about attacking the LGBTQ. It's not about what that is. We're talking about two genders. We're talking about one male, one female. So what's wrong with the boys being boys? I don't have no problem with that. I'm going to read of the things that she is against, which I am. I don't think that children should be mutilated for whoever. No. You would never sell me on that one, right? I don't care what adults do. I'm talking about children, right? Which is a lot of people reading as anti-trans, which is not, because you even got people in the LGBTQ community, or I should say the Q community, not the T, that's really against that. Even some of the people, when it comes down to children, we got to draw the line somewhere, right? How are they going to make these decisions on their own, right? Without having some, their brain haven't even developed. You know, it takes a certain amount of years for their brain to be developed. Even when you're in your early 20s, your brain is still processing, trying to figure it out. You know, you ain't developed yet. Stop it. Stop the cap, right? As the young people would say, right? All right? So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. So the turning point, USA, that tied to rhetoric that often they call it rhetoric, right? Often anti-LGBTQ. Right? This is what they're saying, anti-immigrant. No, see how they're doing this slick shit? Ain't nobody's anti-immigrant. We are anti-illegal aliens, not immigrants. Illegal aliens, right? That's exactly what we're talking about. You got people that are MAGA that's LGBT, and then Q too. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be real. It ain't. They're going to try to paint MAGA as a bunch of white men, not liberals, but nationalists, right? Because having strong Christian overtones, right, make them a damn Hitler and a racist. This is what they're trying to paint. Well, what that make me, though? Oh, I'm so old, cool, and a sellout then, right? See, this is weird stuff, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I'm doing great pushback against the so-called cancel culture, because they ain't canceling shit. I'm still here, right? So this is exactly what it is, though. This old stupid nonsense. And let's be real, right? Not exactly pro-black civil rights, right? Nicki fan base, the Baz, right, has always been a huge LGBTQ community. It's a fact, right? It is, you know? And especially gay black men who saw her as an ally with the colorful aesthetics, right? Code language in her music and all this other stuff. Now they want to because she met with Erica Kirk. She officially announced how she supported Trump. She found him and Vance to be attractive and all the rest of this kind of stuff. A man is attractive. What these little idiots don't realize is that any man of power is going to be automatically attractive. It's how women are hardwired like that. It's just how it is. When a man has money and power, it makes him very, very attractive. And these old hypocritical biatches out here just doing this stuff, they know if they had an opportunity, they would do the same thing. They would love to be up there and be in their bedroom. Let's go and keep it real. They ain't fooling me, right? This is a bunch of crap. And I even have to go over this nonsense. This is how far off we are, man. It's a bunch of idiots, right? Black folks in general. Trump and MAGA policies hit hard. Voting rights, immigration, Nicki's Trinidadian born herself, right? So they basically, here it is right here. They look at her fans were posting, breaking up the videos on TikTok, unfollowing millions and things like that. Nicki still got money. I hope you got some good business investments, maybe real estate and other stuff to go to the next level. Because, like I said, I wouldn't want to be, even though you built your fan base up off of fans come and go, man. They're fickle like that. I don't trust any of them. The only fan you should be as a fan for yourself, Nicki. That's what matters, though, right? You done already did your thing. You a millionaire, multi-millionaire. You know what I'm saying? More than these women will ever see. You know what I'm saying? So, like it is, go ahead and unfollow. Because having a lot of following doesn't make you, or it sure ain't gonna break you. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what it is. So it has here that some of the reports of unfollowing her, it says here up to 10 million, right? Through that debate, you know, starting petitions to deport her back to Trinidad. This is crap. Black folks ain't got no damn power to deport her ass. She's a naturalized citizen. What the hell are they talking about? She hasn't broken no laws. The people you should be championing for to get their ass out of this country, they're going anyway. You don't need a champion for it. It's the Somalis and a lot of these other illegals as fuck over here in our country, wasting our taxpayers dollars and all this other stuff to enrich themselves and supporting a terrorist group, which is El-Shabaab or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what's been going on. You know, when they're trying to do some petitions. Yeah, what's your petition is useless. The only people who have power is the people in Congress and our government that can get somebody denaturalized. And they have to be fucking up. She ain't fucked up at all. If anything, she's been a big, big help to the LGBTQ. That's a big one and other things though, right? I may not have to support it, you know what I'm saying, but they have that choice because we're under the Constitution. That's all that matters. You in a free society to be able to do these things. You see how communist that the so-called black community people are? They're like in this, like I said before, it's very cultish. They have a cult-like thinking. Normally with a cult of a people, you have a cult leader. The leader thinks for the collective. Kind of like if you guys are Star Trek fans, you know who the Borg is, right? They have the hive mind, right? What's that woman that was over the Borg or whatever? Because they can't think on their own. They got to think as a collective. And that's how the black, so-called black community behave, right? You have the queen, right? It's a black woman. She's the queen over black men and the children and all the rest of that stuff. It's the hyena hierarchy, as I mentioned before. This is exactly what it is. Go and look in the animal kingdom under the hierarchy, right? Under the hyena, right? The woman or the female, in this case, the female hyena, right? She is the boss. She's actually bigger than the male hyena, right? So you have the female hyena, right? She is top dog, right? Then you have her sisters and all of the female offsprings. They all have social clout over the male hyenas. You following what I'm getting at here? So when it comes down to the children that are female, they eat They eat second, third, fourth. The last one they eat is the male hyena, the man, the father. Ain't that like how the black community is now? This is exactly how that is. It's a hyena social hierarchy. That's exactly what it is. You cannot win like that, you know, unless you're going to surrender and cow down, gray in the head, like Samuel Jackson said over there in Django. You're working to your back about busting big rocks down to little rocks, being a goddamn pack mule over somebody that ain't worth a damn, ain't worth two rusty nickels today, let alone dating, you know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get down to it, you know? So you have people that, you know what I'm saying, here it is right here. All right, let's take a look at it. We're going to go a little bit further here. So 10 million people supposedly unfollowed her. Her money still ain't going to drop. The money still ain't going to drop, you know? So by her showing up, you know, and talking with Erica Kirk, they want to say Turning Point USA is racist. And so forth. I've listened to Charlie Kirk. I listened to him do debates and everything like that. And not one time he was telling the truth on the debates about the black community and some of the things, right, of what's been going on. You have broken homes. He knows the statistics. He knows what was going on before he was assassinated. 1965, the Civil Rights Act under Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson was a known racist. He was using the N-word all the time. But Democrats ignored that. They just turned their head, you know? And I do believe that with some or most of black women, because they get these benefits and so forth. I mean, look at it. They're the ones that have been, they can go to school, get their education, be on the program, Title IX, all this stuff, right? Because black women count as a double minority in America, right? As number one, as a female, but automatic. Number two, when we talk about by her being a female and her being black, double minority right there. So she's winning on all levels. Brothers, y'all got to start waking up and listen and look at it for what it is. All this rah-rahing about a queen, you ain't benefiting from it, you know? They have more set-asides and programs than we do. Even with the so-called Civil Rights Bill, that was a scam and a sham. It really is, because instead of championing for civil rights, you should have been championing for human rights. They deliberately did it. You'll be surprised if you ever look at the Civil Rights Bill. And one day I may uncover it even more in depth. But it don't have the black man in it at all. They pushed us out. You got minority groups that's coming in this country that's benefiting, white women benefiting. How is a white woman and people in other countries, they never went through no slavery and never, how do they benefit under that? You never thought about that, huh? I'm just calling you guys out on your hypocrisy and this bunch of idiots. You ain't looked into the Civil Rights Bill to determine this. We ain't benefited-ish. It's true. Not one iota. Look at what's going on. What's it? Disenfranchised, marginalized, no community anymore. I grew up, the Generation X was the last generation that we had Big Mama in the house, right? We had communities. It was block parties, right? And cleanup crew we used to have and stuff like that. You know, there was a lot of things that we had. We didn't even have one. We had a father or a stepfather. We had some type of male authority. We had uncles in the house at the time, you know? We had male authority back then. Right now, you can't have a community with a bunch of women and children. It's not a community. It's not a community. You know, we went out to the smorgasbord, Big Daddy, Big Mama, and the kids, and the relatives, uncles, because what you see right now in the so-called black, which is sad, and we know what caused that. It is, again, it's left-leaning policies that destroyed that. So I'm really getting down on giving information as to what happened. You know? Because I'm saying this stuff wouldn't even happen today like it's going back then. And some of you guys that are Generation X know what I'm talking about. was the last generation. Millennials didn't have it. Zennials definitely don't have it. They definitely don't have it. This is where it is right now. You know? So they're not going to deport her. They don't have the power to. They're so ignorant, they don't even understand the Constitution with this type of stuff. Illegal aliens do not have entitlement to this country. They don't even understand the birthright citizenship at all. It's all in the 14th Amendment. They're being led by a bunch of ignorant women, and I'm glad that they are the minority group. Man, thank God they're not the majority, man. You know, 70% of women that are single with children. It's not a family, and it's not a community. If you take the father out the home, what do you got? What do you have? You know, single mothers equal YNs today, and we got a lot of them. I'm just saying, this is the truth. I don't bend the knee for women. I tell the truth. And you brothers should be doing the same thing in regards to this type of stuff. You know, instead of kowtowing and bowing down and whatever like that. Nicki is right, just like I'm right. Y'all wrong. Leave it to you guys. Fix your communities. Fix your homes first before you start throwing rocks at someone else, though. Get your house in order first. No, I ain't got time for this nonsense. So yeah, so I appreciate it, guys, for you guys showing up over here. Thank you for the likes, too. Let's go into the video now. I've said enough. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, man, this is crazy, man. Where we are here. All right, here it is. So I'm going, oops. Wait a moment, guys. I didn't, hold on. Oops. Hold on, guys. There we are right here. Okay. That was strange.
How are you? So those of you who know, Charlie was very good about having a surprise for every AmFest. And we are so blessed to have you. We are so grateful.
I'm sorry, hold on for a minute. Let me put this on pause.
I'm honored to be here.
I got Black Money Corp. Y'all showing up. Hold on for a minute now. Boy, look at boy, we got Black Money Corp in his house. Man, how did I miss that, man? I'm sorry, guys. I got some catching up to do first. Hold on before I play that video, man. Hold on for a minute. I got you covered. I've been on your channel, Black Money. I be liking you, man, putting my likes up and everything, man. Let me see here. All right. NCP says, cause she is terrible role model, promotes behavior, and has a negative impact. But yeah, I understand. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't a big Nicki Minaj fan because of some of the things, but she don't deserve this. I'm talking about her and her political alignment. That's what I'm talking about. And she has that right. That's why I didn't go into her past, because it's irrelevant. Gamer Guy says Donald Trump does not currently own a yacht. He sold his famous Trump princess, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, but you're missing the point, though. This ain't about Donald Trump. This is about Nicki Minaj right now, right? This is about her, right? And her political alignment. She's a grown woman. She can do whatever the hell she wants to. Stop being in this cult thing and look at the facts, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm protecting her freedom, right? This ain't got nothing to do with Donald Trump per se. Let me see here. Black Money Code, dude, you sound like the Wizard of Oz. Nicki is not even a citizen, and things like that. Black Money Code says that she would, you're not not accept that your child is LGBTQ. USA. I'm gonna say this though too. You saying that she's not a citizen? She don't have to be a citizen. You can be a naturalized citizen and be sworn in. You know, I don't even use the word citizen per se. We got con on that. You should know this though, man. Citizen only means a slave looking for permission. It's the people, right? Republic. This is going into a constitutional republic, not a democracy anymore. The Dems are losing. We're going into a constitutional republic, not a constitutional democracy. And that's really going to happen, though. You know, but I don't have any problem with TPS. We got to get out of this cult mindset that we have. My biggest thing is that black folks really don't know what real freedom really is. understand what freedom is. And I get it because of the tropes of the left-leaning groups where communism, socialism, and socialist groups and things have been pushed in the black community for so long. Most blacks are used to an overreaching government, black government, overreaching their boundaries, telling you can't do this and you can't do that. I get it. I understand where that mindset is coming from. But like I said before, this ain't about her past. This is about her choice. This is what this is about. See, you bringing up stuff, you guys are bringing up. It ain't about that. 'Cause like I said, I wasn't a fan, but I protect her freedom. That's what this is about. And you guys got to jump on board with it. Because you wouldn't like it if you know, a lot of black folks like Cadillacs. What if I were to tell you can't buy a Cadillac no more? I'm going to go and shame you and thumb you down for driving a Cadillac. You have the choice to drive whatever car you want. Just like she has a right to vote whoever she wants. Her vote and for what she does don't make you shit. Well, like they say, what she eat don't make you shit, and it really doesn't. So knock it off. Knock it off. What the fuck? You know? Let me see here. We want, you sound like you're in a tin can, and things. Let me see, Black Money Corp says, Nicki is not a factory, she is entertainment. But she still has the right to vote. This is what it's about. It's all about her choice. That's what I'm defending. Not all this other stuff. Missing the point. Missing the point. Black MAGA, well, you already know where I'm laying though anyway. You always known that I was MAGA. That's your opinion. But tell me this though, a Black MAGA Corp, you know? What have the liberal side done for black community? And as I said, I went down through the whole history and many more. And you should know this. Where have we benefited by being liberals? When? Look at our community, dude. Look what's going on in our communities. You know? We don't have any power. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it's still the plantation. So if it looking like some things are coming better, I would say this. I bet you won't turn that 2K check down when Trump give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, he's talking about getting rid of the taxes. This is things that on Trump's policies, the reasons why I voted for this guy. Everybody know where I'm laying down. I'm not hiding, no. You see, I'm wearing a cap. That's your opinion. But again, I respect your freedom. You see what I'm saying? We getting out of this monolith stuff. Be a man and stand on what you believe in. I stand on mine, right? It's about freedom. This whole thing is about the freedom. Freedom of choice. Nobody's telling me, dictating to me what I can wear, I can't wear. You know, that's your opinion. But I'm going to continue making this. Fuck the cancel culture and everything else. You ain't getting nothing from it anyway. Like I stated before. So, hey, you got your own opinion, and I got mine. We ain't got to agree on everything. You know? Shit. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. Let me see. A Black Money Corp says she's only have money if you say she has. This ain't about any of that stuff. It's about her freedom. She has her right to do what she wants to do for her voting. You have a right to not follow her no more. You know? But to me, you so much but her because of the choice she made. That to me is strange. And you know you can't defend it. I'm defending her choice and her right, just like anybody else. This is what makes America so great. Do not forget about this, because you could be somewhere else, African nation, and I bet you, I guarantee you would not have the freedoms that you have over here in America. And that's a fact. Yeah, thank you for the likes up. Shit, I ain't got to lie about this. It's about her freedom, man. All that other stuff that y'all bringing up, you know, and like I said, I'm just knocking it right off. I'm just knocking it down because it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Why random do hate yourself? Well, Black Money Corp, now you want to make it a personal thing. But you have the right. Once again, I know it ain't true. But I'm not an insecure ass type of person. You ain't taking care of me, and I ain't taking care of you. Facts. I go out here and work for mine, dude. I ain't over here under no permission of no black woman or you or any damn body else. You know what I'm saying? You either accept my choices or, you know, you have a right to move and push off. You have that right. You have that right. But don't try to put me and try to make me and try to make this like a monolith, like we all, you know what I'm saying? We have choices, dude. For real, for real. We have choices. Right? So that's how that is, though. And I'm gonna keep speaking on it, and I'm gonna keep doing it, right? And I'm gonna keep building these channels up and keep pushing the truth. Because at least I am standing on something that I believe in, and that's freedom. And maybe you should try that sometime, though. Instead of wallowing in self-pity and everything like that. You know, because I can simply say that. And I can say a lot of other things. You're on a losing battle, my friend. You have no power. Stop it. Knock it off. Black Money Corp says wrong if they thought like that. And but you don't have to. It's irrelevant, man. It's irrelevant. Black Money Corp. What black person crushed? It ain't about that though, dude. You missing the point again. You getting butt hurt over the words that I said, and it's obviously hurting you because what I said is factually true. You have no community. You're being led by single black women. Where are we winning? Where are we winning? We're not. We're not. Because have you thought about some of the policies, especially coming from the left, have put us in the situation in the first place? You know damn well the liberals don't give a damn about no constitution. They don't give a damn about you. They're just using you as some old useless tool. Just gonna keep it real. You wanna bend the knee for the Democrats, they ain't give you shit. Right? At least we have a possibility with a president. And stop listening to the narrative in regards to what they telling you. I've looked at his policies. Every of his 20-point bullet points with Trump. Right? What I love about Trump is that he's a constitutionalist. Obama isn't, Joe Biden isn't. You gonna name all the other presidents. They were over here taking our rights from us, trying to take our gun rights from us. I stand on the Second Amendment too. I'm a registered gun holder, NRC, and so forth, you know, and things like that, right? The NRA is what I'm trying to say, right? And all that. So I stand on what I'm talking about. I'm for the Constitution and protection of America. And whoever else don't like it, hey, you have a choice. You ain't gonna listen to it, deal with it no more. You know? I don't agree with a lot of things on your show either. I've been supportive of you. I never came on here and attacked you on your show how you doing me. I find what you doing, Black Money Corp, is disingenuous. You the one that's butthurt, right? I find you to be very disingenuous. I ain't never went after you on your show. Am I planning on doing so? I could have, but I didn't because I'm not butthurt of what you're saying, brother. All the stuff you're saying, I'm not butthurt about it at all. But obviously you butthurt about what the stuff that I'm saying, right? You're butthurt of what I'm saying. That's a you problem, not a me problem. That's a you problem, my brother. And that's what I'm saying to you. And I like I said, I still stand on her freedom. You're missing the point. If you take your emotions out of the equation and listen to what I'm saying logically, maybe you'll have some type of understanding, my brother. That's the problem with black men. We're being raised by single black women, right? Because we get our emotions in the way instead of listening to the logic. You know? Am I lying or am I telling the truth? I never came on your show and did this, and you know it. You know it. I never came and disrespected you on your show. But like I said, what I eat don't make you shit and vice versa. And that's for anybody else. That's for anybody else, right? And I appreciate people coming on the show, but like I said before, this is about freedom. Let me go ahead and push through this and get back on my point, man, and stuff like that. The comments are coming in. I don't have my mods on here. And if I do have my mods on here, let it come through, man, because they are the ones that are butthurt, right? Let me get back on my point, like I said before. You know, they're the ones that are butthurt about the situation. I'm not butthurt about it. That's all. Because obviously, like I said before, feelings are being hurt. I'm talking about freedom. Mm-hmm. What you coming, man? Hey, Black Money Corp, man. You try. What's up, man? What's good? What's good? What's really good? Tell me the truth. What's really good, man? No. I want you to tell me what's really good. What is your personal problem with me? I'm talking to you as a man to man. What's your problem with me? Not that I care, but I'm asking you. Because I don't have much of a problem with the stuff and the rhetoric that you coming with. You know why? Because it's insignificant in my life. But obviously, you have a problem with me. I'm just curious. I mean, LOL. I'm asking you a question as a man. Being a man about it. I'm talking to you. Because I'm asking you, right? We got a bunch of people. You don't know me from a can of paint, and vice versa. You don't know me from a can of paint. And anybody else, you don't know me from a can of paint. But I see what I need to do, though. You is a disgrace as a black man that kowtow under a woman's skirt tail. That's what I said, right? That's what it is. Because obviously you butthurt. And many other brothers like you. Instead of being a man and taking charge and doing what's right. Because I asked you a question before. This is about her freedom, but you want to try to put it as a personal thing. I was already ready for it. Fuck the cancel culture. You can't cancel shit. And that's for the rest of you too. I have a right. She has a right, just like you have a right. And most of the shit that you talk about, I don't agree with it at all. How about that? You know, being very, very disingenuous and disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Man, everybody say I'm a leader. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talk that ish. When you really are making real people that's making real change in the communities, they ain't got to go over here and boast it. They just do it. And I find it very rich and strange. Thank you for the likes. Yeah, for those that's feeling what I'm talking about, this is real change. Everybody boasts and brag about shit. Everybody want to be a keyboard warrior. Everybody talk all this issue stuff like that. But when it comes down to the facts, it's like I said before. It's just about choices that we have under the Constitution. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's on you. That's on you. You've been known my alignment from where I was laying. And I just find it just very strange right now. See how cultish they are, ladies and gentlemen? For those that are listening, this is the type of stuff that I had to deal with all my life. But I don't have a dog in the fight. This is about divesting and doing what's right for you. Sometimes you actually, and most of the time, or I should say in general, you got to get away from dysfunctional people that are broken spirit. And you got to build for you. Build with people that are willing to build with you. It's like I told my nephew, Passport is looking really great right about now. He went over to the Philippines, told him what to do, and all this stuff. Since we're going to talk about all this, because this thing is still a Nicki thing. She still had the freedom. In fact, I ain't going to talk about that stuff. I'm going to talk about what we originally talked about. Nicki has the right. Because once again, this is about freedom. You see how they try to pigeonhole people and try to put us into a box? You can't pigeonhole me and put me in the box. Can't do it. Just like you can't do it with her. Because she still got millions. She got more money than you'll ever have. How about that? She can make change. And since she's coming around, she's probably going to be able to make change stuff. I don't hold nobody's past. It's what they're doing now. And it's judgment type stuff. See, this is dysfunction once again. You can't win in these dysfunctional ass so-called communities. When you have poverty and despair, there's no buildings. And once you have us a footlocker, pay in advance, predatory lending and all this other stuff, marginalized, disfranchised. This is the type of stuff that needs to be worked on. Real stuff I'm talking about right now. If they ain't talking about this type of change of how we can get around predator lending and all that other type of stuff, just keep on pushing. Because having the internet, I'm not doing the internet battle thing. I'm very physical. I don't do the internet type of stuff. I ain't with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with all that other stuff. We're talking about Nicki right now. Nicki. Because like I said before, what I eat don't make you shit. And that's for the rest of you. You think I give a damn about your choices that you do? I'm not over here. I would never get on somebody's channel and just troll them over some bullshit. This is crazy, though. Very feminine energy. Very feminine. This is the type of stuff right there. Real men, we don't do this type of stuff. We stand on our beliefs and then keep it going from there. We provide and we protect. That's our role as a man, right? When you can't even get the questions at, you think I care about all that? And I don't. She has a right to be able to pick and choose. And same thing with her on the liberal side. Y'all didn't say shit when she was a liberal. You know? Even I said, I don't agree with the LGBT stuff myself, especially with the children stuff. That's just my beliefs thing, right? That's exactly what I said. So, hey, this is exactly what it is. Oh my goodness. I'm not scared about shit, man. I'm really not. What do I got to be scared about me standing up for her freedom? I'm not scared about that. I wear my cap. I'm not worried about that. You know? So, and that's why I'm encouraging everyone else too. Make sure you have your CCWs, CPLs, and so forth, right? Because like I said before, Omega knows this though too. I got a lot of military friends and so forth as well. This is the time now because you can't deal with this type of stuff. You got to be able to protect yourself out here in the street. In fact, I'm gonna do that on the Second Amendment right again too. I'm gonna do another live on that and stuff as well. You know, because like I said, this is in the Constitution, right? Just like we protect this country, and we are going to protect this country, you know? You have a choice. If you don't like America, just get yourself a one-way ticket, get the fuck out like everybody else. Go over there to Africa and see how well the Africans don't even fuck with black folks. They don't even like black folks, to be honest. But you can take your ass over there if you want. You can take your ass over there. I'm done with this stuff, man. This is crazy, man. This is crazy, man. We ain't getting nowhere though on Black Money Court, man. You go ahead on, man, and you can go on your channel, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you a trip. You came in my live, you know, but what you're not gonna do anymore, because like I said before, you acting like that we know each other. We don't know each other. You don't know me from a can of paint, man. We don't know each other. And why is what I'm saying bother you so much? I ain't give a fuck about what you got going on in your channel. You got way more views than me. I ain't butthurt about that shit. Right? I got technology just like you do. And I'm using mine in the way that I see fit. I don't come over here and tell anybody what they should be and not saying. I ain't justifying myself to you for somebody that ain't taking care of me. I go out here and work for mine, man. Yeah, you can speak your mind or whatever like that, but you've been disingenuous. You insulted me. And when I asked you the questions, you evaded them. You kept talking about this other nonsense. When I asked you, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed in you. And this is another problem with black men. We have a poor communication thing between black men alone, let alone with black women. Couples and relationships, we do not communicate very well. And there's a lot of emotions in there that cloud our judgment sometimes when it comes down to dealing with straight facts without emotion. That's what I'm talking about. This is a problem. You've been doing live streams far longer than me. And I come in your chat, big up you, gave you thumbs up, even though with some of the stuff and rhetoric that you talk, I don't agree with. But you come over here and be disrespectful on my channel. Now, if it's like you coming in my house and you can have a disagreement, but you didn't have to come at me like you came at me. I'm a man. And we know if it would have been it could be a physical thing if we was physically, you wouldn't do this stuff because it would result to a physical altercation. And this is a problem with black men because of the poor communication skills that is driven by emotions, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the reason why black men don't have love for each other. Because if they did, they would say, well, there's another way. It always lead to a physical confrontation. Facts. That's exactly what it is. We can't even, when I ask a direct question, I can't get a direct answer back. We talking about Nicki Minaj. Then you had to make it personal with me because I have the freedom. You overlooked the point. You want to try to put every black person in a monolith. You try to put everybody, pigeonhole everybody as a cult. We're not a cult. Just like you got different religions, different denominations, she has a right to her political alignment of whoever she wants. Just like she had the right with the LGBTQ thing. I don't agree with it, but she still had that right. That's the point you're missing. And right now we're just spinning wheels with each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up on my show. And I bid you a farewell. Good luck on your endeavors. You know, I bid you a farewell. We can agree to disagree, Black Money Corp. You can go to your own channel and you can talk about this if you want. And I'm good. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying to you. And that's being a real man without getting crazy, getting loud, because I don't have to do that. We have to have some type of agreement with each other, and this is effective communications, not screaming, hollering, and yelling like a banshee maniac, because that'll get us nowhere. So I bid you a farewell. Have a nice life. Go on with your life. That's all I'm asking you to do. We part our separate ways. We part our separate ways. And I'm being nice. Because you know what's coming next. I'm being nice. We part our separate ways. Now, we can do this the easy way, or let me see here. As I'm saying, we can part our separate ways. That's what I keep saying to you. Let's see here. Just one moment. I'm giving you that choice, though, Black Money Corp. We can part our separate ways. Let's see here. Just one moment. Because all this other stuff, this back and forth stuff, don't really mean much, man. It really don't. I said we can part our separate ways, and that's it. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and go back to my show and things, and I'll deal with this situation later. All right. So yeah. So other than that, with Nicki Minaj, that's the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, and things. I'm having little problems with the audio. And things with this, but I'm just going to try to show you guys a little bit of clips and stuff like this for right now. But I should have went on my other format, but this is cool though, because I don't want to be using too much people's content and things like that. But just kind of showing you, she's here with Erica Kirk. I don't know Erica Kirk, but she has a right. They have a right to set up Turning Point USA. They have that right. Just like this. Just like the stuff that we talked about here. This is about freedom. It's something that a lot of people, especially in the so-called black community, they don't understand what freedom really means. You guys get it. I'm a strong constitutionalist. We have a right, right? Just like we have a right to bear arms. We have freedom of speech. You may want to learn about the Constitution. What's the First Amendment, right? The freedom of speech, freedom of religion, as well as the freedom of the press. Let no person or no one infringe on our rights, right? And this means you too, right? We have this freedom right here. Just like she can be up here on stage, this woman here, Erica Kirk and Nicki Minaj, they have a right to be up here on the stage. And I ain't gonna let no one say otherwise because it's straight out communist. This is exactly what it is. This is the modern day commies, modern day fascism, right? And let me say this too about liberals. This is my dealings with the liberals, right? And let's get this down right here, right? So that way we know. What is a liberal? It's a mentally challenged person who lacks critical thinking, thrives on fear mongering, and get duped very easily into believing, right, any controversial thing without evidence, right? And this is exactly what they do. They don't do their research. They get upset and hurt with the little thing, right? With a little thing, they get upset. I done had many come in this room. I done dealt with many trolls, man. When I did the No Kings, it was 20,000 people in here. And I still stood my ground, right? And this is what it's about. It's about standing your ground, right? And I'm going to stand my ground, right? This is exactly what it is. They are upset. They come in here. They expect this monolith that, oh, Nicki Minaj, she's going to get her black card removed. We want to get her deported. Cancel culture. Oh, sellout. Right? We done heard it all. I heard it all, man. And I'm still here. Right? This is just a bunch of nonsense. But this is what, unfortunately, you can't fix stupid, right? You can't fix stupid, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and talk about this here a little bit. So looking at it right now, let me see here. What about the Democrats' history, right? For what they did, right? We know the Lincoln, right? Abe Lincoln, assassinated, right? JFK, assassinated, leaning left. MLK, assassinated, right? Let's go down the list. They were the creators of the Ku Klux Klan, right? Lynching blacks, right? Segregation, redlining, right? Slavery, right? Let's go in and get down to it, though. I'm really going to make you mad now. These are all left-leaning policies, right? They created Jim Crow, Demo KKK rats, right? These are the people here, the Confederacy, right? These are the things right here. See, they never wanted you to know this truth. The Democratic Party started in 1828. The Republican Party is the party of our ancestors. If you would have known history, you would know this. 1854, abolitionists, as well as the Whig Party, which is basically blacks and whites that started the Republican Party to stop the spread of slavery going to the West. This is a well-documented fact. If you was on the right side of history, you would know this, right? So some of you guys may be getting a history lesson, an educational lesson, right? The Democrat Party is not the party of our ancestors. The Republicans are, right? So whoever been talking to Nicki Minaj, I congratulate them. Go ahead and put that little applause on there and things like that. So, and then once again, for a lot of these old crybabies that want to get up on here and try to tell people, yeah, here's your crybaby sounds. And that's for anybody else, though, because that's what you sound like in my ears. When I say something that butt hurts you, I hear this little baby crying right here. That's what I hear. Baby crying. Wah. There's no strength in that at all. That's exactly what it is. This little baby crying. Little cry babies. Want some McDonald's, huh? Want to go to McDonald's? Take you to McDonald's if you want. You want to go to McDonald's? Oh, man. Now I can start trolling, see? And I do it well. I can troll now, and I was being nice, trying to show the world that two black men that have a disagreement, that we can come to some type of resolution and just agree to disagree. But what you have demonstrated for people that when this goes out, they're going to say that this brother is right. The other brother was in his feelings. They ain't got to, you can see in the comments, whoever is saying it. This is the problem, as I stated before. This is the problem. So Nicki, once again, you have a right to whoever your political alignment is. Obviously, people know what mine is. You knew from day one. Don't try to come in here and make it sound like, I was never wearing my cap. I was never MAGA. I'm MAGA for life. Making America great again. Something that you should stand on, right? And the rest of you too, if you care about America, where else your black ass gonna go? It ain't gonna be Africa. Africa's gonna show you how much they love you, all right? That's true. That's a real fact now. Now we can go ahead and get into it now. I think I'm at the end of my thing on Nicki. So I'm gonna go ahead and start bringing up some other things. So as I said before, what the history of the Demo KKK rats, what I just mentioned, assassinations, right? Slavery, Jim Crow segregation, redlining. It's mighty funny that these so-called black leaders don't talk about the history of their party that they support. Right? They are the real true sellouts. They are the ones, right? This is why we got this type of stuff that we have right now. This is exactly what it is. Because if it wasn't true, then we would still have a community. You always bring up Black Wall Street. Always bring up all these other places, Rosewood, Asheville, North Carolina. Here in Detroit, Black Bottom. Those communities don't exist anymore. And we have to ask ourselves why. And another thing is, why can we as black people put our differences to the side and start dealing with each other as men and women instead of acting like we're still in high school? Because so-and-so is so-and-so, he ain't cool no more. Don't make me. What I eat don't make you shit. That's exactly what it is. And as you guys can see, this is our main problem in the black community right now. The lack of respect for one another, as Black Money Corp demonstrated, and people like him. This is what they demonstrate, right? Instead of just, we don't have to be, just like with religion. I don't know what religion that you align yourself to be, right? But here's the thing about it. Whether if I'm Muslim or Christian, it shouldn't matter. It's too much division, and you're allowing the enemy to come in here and divide. Black folks been divided. You're doing the modern day Willie Lynch, right? Doing the modern day Willie Lynch. It's live in effect. But you're upset with me of what I'm saying and what I stand on. This is about freedom once again. But you overlook all that, attack your brother, and you just want us to be in this like cult, echo chambers. I accept people that don't disagree. I never one time set my channel up where I said subscribers only. Many of you out there done it. I never done it. I said many other people have done that type of stuff. Because I still think it's best or good to have the freedom to be able to disagree instead of have to go to personal attacks. I could, but what does that get us? To have what, an internet beef, like a rap thing? I'm not doing a rap internet beef thing. We ain't got no beef. You either accept what I have to say, and that's anyone else, or you can keep it moving. I don't need no mods for this one, though. I have mods, just like you have mods. But I ain't not one time disrespected you or anybody else. I said for the last time before I shut this down, Nicki has a right to be able to align herself with whatever political party she what she desires and what she likes. And I stand on that. Just like you have a right to be some old Democrat, KKK, Democrat type stuff. You have that right. I don't have to agree with it, and I don't. And I stand on it. It's like Mike Tyson said, yeah, so what? I voted for Trump. So what? What you gonna do? You gonna change my decision? And this is Mike Tyson. And I'm in agreement with Mike Tyson. You ain't gonna say it to his face. We already know what that'll lead to. So stop the cap. Be a grown man, stand on your square, and do you. And I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna continue doing me. I ain't come over here looking for no position, no permission from nobody. Nobody checking in nowhere. I do what I do. I don't have no boss. You ain't the boss of me. None of you are, right? And I ain't the boss of you. This is childish stuff, childish antics. For clicks and views, we ain't doing that. You got Candace and Owens and them doing that stuff. I ain't got to go over here for clicks and views. I bring up stuff and I'm going to continue. I'm going to have to do a part 2 to this. In fact, I think I'm going to do something even better. The poor communication in the so-called black community. This is how deplorable we have reached down to. This is why young generation don't respect us. And here it is, was it a Generation Xer, just like me, and we supposed to be setting an example. And I didn't see that coming from you. And I'm gonna call you out on it. I'm gonna call you out on it. You ain't set no example. And we supposed to be the ones that's the elders now. We the ones that's supposed to be setting examples. We the ones that's supposed to be teaching the youths and things. There's a better forms of communication than physical violence. Why is it all the time that we don't agree with anything, we got to resort to physical violence? You got plenty of that going on in these inner cities. You know why? Because they didn't have a father that stood on principle and the discipline. It takes discipline not to come out here and pick up a gun and do something. It takes discipline to be able to come out here and speak effectively and communicate and articulate what you're talking about. It takes discipline to do that. It also takes discipline to stand on your beliefs. It takes discipline in regards to that. So if you're butthurt with the words I say, that is a you problem, not a me problem. And I would never kowtow and I would never bow down. And like I said before, people in the room, I appreciate you guys for coming up. And I'm going to be doing more topics now that I have people's attention for real. So I got some other things that I know a lot of people in the so-called black community ain't going to like. I don't do this for what they like. I tell the truth. Tell the truth. God says tell the truth. Don't sit up here and preach and speak and spit lies. Right? We have too many people doing that kind of stuff. Kowtowing and bowing down to the ratchet, dysfunctional behavior that is going on. None of you have the balls to go out there and tell them that. I'm not going to do it. You know why? Because they have the freedom to be able to do it. Go be at it. I don't have a dog in that fight. I can care what they go out there and do. I'm not dating them. So they're on their own with that as well too. You got freedoms. I may not like it, but again, I don't have a dog in that fight. So other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get ready and get up on out of here. And things like that. This is a very interesting live stream. I appreciate a lot of you guys. I appreciate the likes though too. You guys really came in on here with the likes though. You know, see what the thing with technology. You see how my image and how the imagery looks, and the stuff is steady getting better though as I tweak some stuff out. But you know, there's people that been doing it a lot longer than me, and they shit look like shit. However, you know, I show my face. I ain't running. You see what I'm saying? People see me. You know, I'm not behind no meme or no screen or whatever. Sometimes I may not put it up, depending on what I may have going on in my life. But as of right now, you know, this is me. This is my channel, and it has a very, very good layout. It's very clean. And it's going to get better and better because once again, when a real man get out here and work, this is where you get rewarded on the things that you have. I'm going to do it behind the scenes as well, too. Got my panel lights up, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can see me and things. I know jealousy. I know stuff when people are being successful. It breeds a lot of jealousy. I get it. You know, that's one thing about it. I ain't never been jealous of what a person have that I don't have. But when you're insecure, you're jealous of what people have, but you don't have. And I've seen this all the time, especially in the so-called black community. I know a hater when I see one. Now that you're going to make my hater list, Black Money Corp, you're on my hater list. You're a hater. And it's a you problem. You got to deal with that, my brother. I don't have to deal with it. I stand on what I say. And everybody else, when everybody else listen to this afterwards, you'll see that he was butthurt. You know? So that's exactly what it is. You're butthurt, my friend. You the one throwing insults. That's how I know I got you. I got you. Like I catch a lot of people that come in here. You ain't the first. I done dealt many of them. But we'll deal with this though. You know what I'm saying? We'll deal with this. We'll deal with this. That's all I got to say. Yep. You hate the truth. I ain't going back and forth with you anymore. I told you that. You still in here. So, what your channel is slow today? Don't you got a channel or podcast to do? I'm surprised you ain't going live today. Let me go ahead and disconnect that here. Disconnect that. Do this. Hold on for a minute. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on for one moment. I'm gonna show you how what I'm talking about. Hold on for one moment. Let me go ahead and cancel that right here for one moment. Just give me one moment, because I'm gonna go ahead and end the live though too. I got to go out here and work. I'm not on disability, and no disrespect for people that are on disability, but I work for mine, just like I gotta go out here and work as well too. Yep, which I'm happy to do, because I happen to like what I do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead on and do that. And in fact, now that I got a lot of y'all attention, I think I need to start making more of these type of videos and stuff. The dysfunctional, lack of communication black folk, grown as fuck, they can't even talk and communicate right without getting in their feelings, trying to rattle me. I ain't been rattled one time. I get passionate about what I'm saying because this is a bunch of nonsense. This is stupidity. Come in here and want to disrupt my channel, try to derail it, trying to deflect. I even ask you. That's why I stopped asking questions to you, because y'all don't get them back. Most, that's the thing about it. Most of them don't respond back and get butthurt in their feelings and stuff. I'm not. So I appreciate you guys or whatever and things for coming on the channel and stuff like that. Just like I got into a lot of these Somali ass deportation is happening. Now that we are in 2026, a big beautiful bill and things like that, they're gonna flood the zone, get them all up on out of here and things like that. So once again, Trump is really doing this thing. Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States of America, the man that is standing up.
Problem is that our leaders are dumb.
Trump said, stupid people, right? And unfortunately, we have a ton of them, and we gonna always have stupid people that do stupid things, right? Right? That's exactly what it is. But we got a man, we got a president that's getting it done and things like that, and I'm really happy about it. I voted for this, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm happy with the results. And so have you. So should you, you should be happy with it. But other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get out here and make it happen like the captain, get out here and make some money and things like that. But yeah. And other than that, though, it is all right, though. This is a new soap opera right here. It's not a soap opera, though, because like I said before, I said the whole thing. This is about communication stuff, And like I said before, black, in our so-called black community, when it comes down, especially with black men have a low level respect of each other. It's a fact. We do. We have a low level respect of one another. When it comes down to, before I go, I'm about to get ready to go. I'm going to make this point one more time. When it comes down to communicating with each other, these brothers that go to violence. Violence shouldn't happen unless there's a few things. But in this case, for communicating, and they get mad with you because you don't agree with a person. Just like the same old nitwits and Umar and all this one. I never been an Umar Johnson grifting ass Negro. I never been a part of that. But ain't no man gonna tell me where I'm gonna put my penis. I put my penis where I want to. You see what I'm saying? It sounded really gay to me though, really. That's what they sound like to me. Bunch of little girls. Little gay, that's what gay people do, right? Instead of trying to tell them, I'll never tell another man what they can say, what they can do, or who to date. I'll never do anything like that. But other than that, let me get on out of here, though. I had enough of dealing with this, though. Silence, you fool. I have enough of this stuff. I got other things to do. I can only take stupidity for too much longer. And so much longer. I'm about to be out right now. I thank you guys for being part of something great, which is called Some Random Guy Speaks. A Trump supporter, MAGA for life. Trump keep doing his wins. He said we're going to win so much, you're going to get tired of winning. We've been kicking the Democrats' ass, breaking the back of the Democrats. They're not going to win in the midterms. Everything is getting darker. Deportation has been done. It's a beautiful thing. We just winning. taking down the Federal Reserve Bank, no more taxes, getting 2K dividend checks from the tariffs, though. America is winning, and they're going to either live in America or get the fuck out. You know, so other than that, I thank you guys for being part of, once again, a great channel, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better because I don't have no production team. It's just me, right? Nicki, keep doing what you're doing, girl. You know what I'm saying? You're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these haters, they don't have your money. You doing what you doing your thing. Break out that monolith. Guys, I appreciate you. Though you don't need no mommies and daddies. Do be your own man. Stand on your own ground. Stand on your own square. Don't let these clowns and butthurt ass people that ain't got no life coming on here trying to tell another man what to do. I work for mine, right? I show you how much equipment I have. You see in the backdrop, I got all kind of cameras, equipment, and they ain't came from one damn. This channel ain't even monetized, right? Before I go, so that way we'll be clear, right? You don't see no dollar thing down there. It's not, you know, it's not. I go out and work for mine, right? What real men do. Nothing wrong with a donation, man. Donation. Hit the like, hit the donation thing. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate it though, guys, because it's getting up there. I had a good turnout last night and things though. Give a shout out to Estelle, you know, and things like that. And a few other ladies though will make y'all minds though too. I got y'all with sisters too that back me up on this though too, boy. So yeah, shout out to y'all too. You know who you are. Shout out to Omega. Shout out to Joe Mama, not your mama, but Joe Mama. You know, shout out to him as well. Shout out to Barbecue Roadkill, Dan, the Corn Man, and all the rest of you guys that come in here and rock with me. You know, and these are brothers and sisters. You know, and it's steady growing though. You know, the black fatigue. They hate the black fatigue. I love the black fatigue because they're talking the truth. Shout out to Pop and Culture too, out of Maryland. The sisters that are really doing it, and my girls over there were flipping Chicago red. Danny C, you know, I've talked with her before. Shout out to Danny C, though, you know, already flipped Chicago red. That's what I'm talking about, you know. I'm gonna get her on the show too, boy. They don't really know, you know. They don't know. And I'm just over here putting out small stuff, but we have a group of brothers and sisters that support Trump, and we're gonna show them. We're gonna show the haters though. What you got? Nothing, right? Nothing. I got something. You got nothing, right? That's what I'm saying. Since you want to go ahead and do that, I'm clapping back. And now I try to give you a chance. And matter of fact, I'm gonna do that. All right, guys. I appreciate it. You guys take care of yourselves. Please like, comment, subscribe, or whatever. But I'll make sure that this don't never happen again. But I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody else that rock with me, support me and stuff. The channel is going to get better and better and better. Let me see. Looking at my time, sure, it's actually 30. What's it, 134? Okay, you guys take care of yourself. Peace and chicken grease. I'm out. That's when you ain't got no haters. You got it. You know when you got haters, that means you're doing something good. I want continue hating, continue coming into this room. Excuse me. Continue coming into this room and do what you do best. And that is to hate, right? Yeah. Typical sucker. You wouldn't say, oh, man, you just be talking Black Money Corp. I'm going to let you know, boy, because I'm from Detroit, though, boy. You don't want that life. So don't even go there, though. You a typical sucker. You don't want this life. You ain't about that life for real. You know what I'm saying? So I suggest that you push on, you know? And like I said, because when the gloves really come off, you're going to wish that you pushed on, man. For real, for real. You know? So push your ass on with your butthurt ass. You know, I have a problem when a man don't show his face on camera. You know what I'm saying? Well, you do. I admit that you do. At least I'm showing my face. I admit that. That was a misspoke. You know? Shit, we ain't hiding. All right, y'all take care. Peace. I deal with this. Peace. Yeah. Yeah, I'm over here in Detroit. You know about it. You know about it. Home of Trick, and all the rest of it. You know about it. Yeah, you know about it. Yeah, you know about it. Huh? And that's my boy, and that's my brother too. You know, that ain't what you want. you don't want that. It ain't what you want. Yeah, shout out to Trick, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, you're tripping. Yeah, you tripping. Yeah, you go ahead and take that life effort. I'm going to make sure you don't never come in here again, too. After the day, you're being blocked, sir. Because I've been nice to you. I've been more than nice to you, but you being blocked. I'm out.